Guys, you realize this is actually the first time the three of us together have camped. Meaning you have camped many times.
That is true.
I actually did not think about that until this very moment.
It is always something that happens to where we can't all camp at the same time. I'm really excited that we were able.
Yes, and it's a celebratory occasion.
Yeah.
We are celebrating Patrick's 30th birthday.
Yep. 30 meetings.
He didn't want to say 30.
No.
So, not to give away your age, but
it's 30.
But we love you. And cheers.
Love you.
Yes. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
We are no more popcorn.
No more popcorn. Cheers. We're out in the middle of nowhere right now.
We're camping.
Yeah. So, Patrick had the idea, hey, to celebrate my birthday, let's all go camping. He had acquired a projector. Cell phone projector. I'll let you take over from here to explain this.
Tell me what this thing is.
Yeah, so I have a phone, it's Motorola Z2 Force, and they have mods for it that you can attach to the back. They got battery packs and speakers and shit like that, but I wanted a projector. Projector projects pretty much anything that's on your phone to a wall up to like 70 inches, it says. So we brought it out here to watch Sleepaway Camp.
Yes.
Out in the woods, and it was awesome.
So what did we project it onto?
Oh, a waterproof mattress that we had tied up and stuck knives in to hold it up in the trees.
A mattress cover.
Oh, mattress cover.
Yeah, not a mattress.
A whole mattress. We had swords. Took a while.
I brought my Japanese swords to do that.
Yeah, so what better movie to watch in the woods than 1983's Sleepaway Camp?
Yeah.
This has one of the most notorious horror endings in horror history.
Yeah.
Well, needless to say, we're all pleasantly surprised with the film. I guess I was the only one up until this point that had watched the movie.
Yeah.
Patrick, you said you had heard about the ending through Robot Chicken?
Yeah, Robot Chicken spoiled it, which I was like, yep, this is what's coming.
Oh, man, yeah.
Which I did. You know what? I actually recalled telling you at some point the ending. Wow. And I was so happy that I was like, he doesn't seem to remember.
No, I don't.
I'm very happy.
I had literally zero idea. None. It's good. That's one of the good things about having a bad memory. You don't get spoiled. You watch some again. It's fine.
Oh, absolutely. Whenever we were discussing the film before hitting record here and stuff, this is a movie that is a really good example of a lot of things. It's hokey when it needs to be. It is also very reminiscent of like the quote unquote serious tone of Friday the 13th franchise. Any kind of it's not a cheap movie. You could tell that one thing that we were discussing a lot was how they use their budget to their ability when using a lot of special effects and practical effects and stuff like that on kill scenes. All that stuff is really neat. We don't unfortunately know a whole lot about this director, so we'll go ahead and call ourselves out on that. I can't even remember his fucking name. I was trying to remember it when we were watching it, and
What was it, Robert Zemeckis?
This director had to have been gay, right? He had to have
been. So we can touch on that.
Very much,
so much gay over and undertones.
Undertones, overtones. Even trans, 1983. That's the whole... Let's not give away the ending yet, but...
Sure. Let's just say it's probably autobiographical.
Yeah. All the men had like tube tops or no shirts with Daisy Dukes that were so tight.
Okay, I actually want to point something out.
You were super tight.
No, they were tight, but your cousin, Nick, okay, we have other people with us here that we were hoping...
They ran away.
To bring into
they
this
said, we don't want anything to do with whatever it is.
But they're like, all right, we watched this, and now it's time to put ourselves into a drunken coma and go to sleep. But he was pointing out, and I thought it was hysterical, because at the very beginning of the film, you have a dad on a sailboat with a couple of kids, okay? And, the dad is in extremely short shorts, and I was like, just commenting over it, like, oh, look at my butt, and Nick, he pointed out, he's like, I wish I could wear shorts like that. And I was like, yeah, he's actually 100% correct. I wish that I could. Everyone in this movie looked so comfortable.
That did not look comfortable.
That didn't look comfortable to you? I was thinking oh man,
Of your
like
ass crack.
well, maybe not that
short,
part. I
short.
think I was thinking more about like the legs and just
my balls like to hang. I can't have it all.
Give me some nice baggy
Bunched
shorts.
up. Yeah.
Baggy shorts. Only tight daisy. They're like man daisy dudes.
And I don't want to bend over and my balls accidentally come out.
they look comfortable.
Here's
to me.
the-
I don't know.
Here's the thing, and you said, and I was pointing it out, like there's a lot of man ass and tight shorts, and you were like, well, these movies in the '80s, like a lot of dudes are dressing that way. Yes, but there would be one guy dressing that way.
Yeah, this was a bunch. And
Not
there was a
half
lot
a
of
dozen.
detail brought to it,
It was definitely
or a lot of attention. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
it was definitely accentuated.
Sure.
But, yeah, okay, fine.
Yeah, teach their own. We watch movies with chicks running around half naked all
Not
the time.
enough.
So
Next
Not
week.
enough.
Next week.
we're gonna have to
We're
counter.
gonna have
this
to
with-
hetero this up.
We're gonna do Porky's next week.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah.
Species 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
More pop-
So I'm down with all these ideas. Species used to be my beat-off material before
that
the
was
internet.
As a young
That
man,
movie.
that
It was,
was
yeah, it
the
was
first-
either it was J.C.Penney's catalogs or Species.
Wait
you
a
know.
minute, was Species every guy's first movie where he saw
Seeing
tits?
Yeah.
No,
I
actually,
saw
was
it on
mine.
TV. For
Yeah.
me too.
my first movie with boobs that I seen was Stripes.
Oh,
yeah.
Bill Murray.
Yeah.
Mud wrestling.
Another
scene,
good
right?
one.
Huh?
Mud wrestling scene.
Shower scene, I believe, right? It was like a shower
I think
scene with a bunch
I
of
think
women.
there's probably both.
Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
I watched that actually for the first time like half a year ago. Actually.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't remember much about it aside from boobs.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
Bill Murray going into Soviet Russia. That's not really.
The beginning of the movie, the dad dies and the son dies, right?
Well,
It depends on how you want to attack
I couldn't
this.
tell. I couldn't
because-
tell. I didn't
It
really.
was weird because to me it looked like it was the little girl screaming, "That's my dad," or
See,
whatever.
I thought it was the girl that was skiing. So what happens is at the beginning of this movie, you have a dad and his two kids. They're on this little
shitty ass kids.
little sailboat. Oh, and I also want to point out, it was the worst. It was as bad. Go and watch our Rabid Grannies review
Yeah.
and the little
My legs.
outtake I put at the end where I act like I'm fainting and falling into the parking lot. Look at how bad that fall was that I did. That was how bad this dad, when he was acting like his kid pushed him over. Because literally he's standing on the thing, and the girl comes behind him and just kind of stands there, and he's like,
Whoa! Watch out, dude!
it looked really bad.
Actually, now that you say Rabid Grannies, I do want to say something too. That this is sort of jumping around a little bit, but there's a character. Okay, let's go into this way. So they're on the boat.
Yeah.
They fall in.
Yeah, the point is they fall
There's a
in.
boating accident. The father dies,
Yeah.
and one of the children dies. We'll just put it that way at this point. And you kind of cut to where our main character of Angela is at her aunt's house with her cousin Ricky, and they are about to go to camp, like a summer camp.
Yeah.
So this
That-
is the girl that was alive from the
Correct.
accident.
Yes. So what I wanted to go into is saying that was you were saying that the aunt sounded a lot like the witch or whatever from Troll 2.
Yeah.
But you know who it reminded me even more of actually was what was her name from Rabid Granny, or not
Which
Rabid
one?
Grannies, the one from Herschel Gordon Lewis.
Oh, Gruesome Twosome?
Gruesome Twosome,
The old lady?
the old lady. That's
Yeah.
what she reminded me of.
Yeah, I see
That whole vocal sound. Oh yes.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. Look at those teeth.
So
That's a different one. it just made me when you said that.
so yeah, they're at the aunt's house. They're about to go to camp. You can tell that Angela is she's really shy. You know, it's kind of her entire character.
Sorry, my legs are like burning.
Oh, dude, I thought you were doing a bit. I thought you were like,
No.
I thought you were like, oh yeah, sleepaway
bit
camp.
is like-
I need my shorts to be as short as possible.
The bitch is, I don't want my legs to
Good
hurt.
idea.
No, it's hot.
It's a good idea, actually.
Yeah, it's hot. Yeah.
I'll show the people my legs. for the ladies or the men. Whatever your preference.
So once they get to camp, one of my favorite scenes in it, just because, like, I don't know, I thought it was so ridiculous. So you have all these buses pulling up at the same time. Are you okay?
I just remembered I left my flashlight on over here this whole time.
Oh.
Is that not fucking with... How do we look?
Look good.
How do my legs
Still
look?
look good?
Yeah, you see legs.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's all I want. That's all I want.
So we get to camp, and all these buses are pulling up. It was almost a very, like, military-style scene. Like, I expected kind of like... to be playing over it. And all these kids are like running out of the buses as other buses are pulling in.
Yes.
That to me is the scariest part of the whole movie, because I'm like, God damn it, kids, you're going to get ran the fuck over.
Yeah,
it's just terrifying.
The other bus does not give a shit about those kids.
I was just
at all.
thinking the way they were running and screaming looked like somebody in the bus was attacking them. That's what
Oh, that's funny.
I had that laid out. That's what I was saying. Like somebody swinging an axe around inside that bus.
So yeah, all these kids are running across the field to their designated areas and all this other good stuff. It kind of, you can definitely tell that all of these kids, minus Angela, have been going to this camp for a long time. They're all pretty comfortable. And you are introduced at this point to a pretty heavy theme at the beginning of the movie of pedophilia.
Yeah, pedophile Pete.
Yeah.
Yes, you have...
Look at all that chicken meat? Is that what he said?
Chicken meat. No.
Did he say, I think he just said
Right?
young meat. Like,
No, he said he
Yeah,
said the word.
Oh, did he? Okay,
He did
okay.
say the word chicken.
Yeah, he's definitely like shit. He would also call him something bear or something.
Yeah,
He
he
didn't
made
have
some.
any hair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he made some joke about it was. I was like, Jesus.
It was
Christ.
actually really super fucked up.
Yeah, I was surprised.
Yeah.
yeah.
And the whole crew, the whole kitchen crew,
They're just like,
is outside there, and they're all just like,
Yucking
oh,
it. Yeah.
you know,
It's like,
old
gee,
Bubba wanting to fuck
oh,
kids.
you
Look at him.
You too old for them.
cook out of summer camp.
Yeah, that's what
Oh,
they
yeah.
say. It's like.
They're
It's
too
like,
young
oh,
for
you're
you.
too young. You're like,
just too
they're
old.
too young. You're too old, or some creepy shit like that.
Yeah.
I did notice it was weird that I seen you writing something down though during that. You were like, note to self.
It said grooming notes at the top of
Oh,
the page.
Anyway, so the kitchen staff is has a pedophile in it.
What was he doing with his mouth? What did he have? Hair coming out of his mouth?
Oh, it's like a piece of grass. You know?
It looked like he had more of it in his mouth. It was
Well,
weird.
he was like, you know,
It was like just pulling it out, and then it was just hanging there.
Yeah, it did look kind of.
Well, there was a. I don't want to spend too much time talking about this, but it did look like when it kind of pulled away a little bit, it just looked like he was like, you know, like on like a piece of hay or something, like a long piece of grass, like a weed, you know.
Yeah.
It was some young pubes,
That was.
I was about to say we definitely know it's not pubes because
Right,
the kids
couldn't
don't
be.
fucking have it.
fresh pubes.
This movie is not afraid to talk about
Yeah,
those things either, and very, even if it doesn't verbally say it, you know, we were discussing while watching it that you have characters that look like they are their age, probably roughly like 10 to 12 years old, mingling with characters who are clearly much older.
Well, yeah, most of the kids are kids, and then the
Yes.
one girl that is supposed to be the girl that
The
has
lead bitch.
yeah, the bitchy girl that she's got tits this summer. She was clearly played by a much older, 20-something.
Yeah.
But most of them weren't kids.
Well, I was saying, like, not only her character, which let's just call her Judy. I think it was Judy.
It was Judy.
It was Judy. Okay.
Yeah. She had a shirt on instead of two.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
No, that's okay. Cool. So Judy, but a lot of the guys too, like the
much
counselor,
older.
yeah, just look way older.
Well, I hope so, because they all got naked at some point.
Yeah.
They ran and jumped into the lake.
Okay, so yeah.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Brian got distracted. I said naked boys.
Yeah,
He lost his
He's like,
where do I
oh.
go from here? I guess I need to work in a kitchen.
You want some ice cream?
Good
So-
job at the
so-
sleepaway camp.
So pedophile Pete Angela is recognized now within the camp as not very vocal. She doesn't say anything. She hasn't eaten at this point in 3 days. Once again, she's there with her cousin Ricky, who is having her back through everything and trying to help her adjust to this situation.
He's a good kid. He's a good kid.
Ricky is a good kid, and I actually do like that character. I feel like it was very believable.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So, at a certain point, when they're all in the mess hall, or the cafeteria, whatever you want to call it, one of the head counselors, it's been brought to his attention that, hey, this girl hasn't eaten anything. She hasn't said anything. Like, maybe we should try to accommodate to her a little bit more.
Find her some food she wants.
Find her some food she wants. So, the very, very buff
grabs her by the hand.
With the shortest of shorts.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically underwear.
King short shorts.
With the huge pectoral muscles.
Yeah. In other words, we're all jealous.
Yeah.
But he takes Angela to the kitchen, and he introduces her to pedophile Pete. And he's like, hey, do you think maybe we can wrestle up something for her to eat that she would enjoy? And he's like, oh, of course, let's go to the walk-in. There's all sorts of things in the walk-in that you like.
And, of course, right at that time, he gets a phone call.
Oh, yeah. Well, just take it. Yeah, just take it.
He drags her into the walk-in, and it's just immediately like, I'll find you something good, and starts unzipping his pants.
Oh, God.
It is like...
It's so fucked up.
Yeah.
And then Ricky runs in and cock blocks pedophile Pete.
That little son of a bitch.
What a choice of words. There's our first strike on this episode. I felt like we were being pretty delicate.
Cock-blocking cousin.
Cock-blocking pedophile. Yeah, okay. So Ricky comes in, saves the day, and pedophile Pete's like, oh, no, if you say a word, I'll fucking kill you.
It's like, you see nothing.
Yeah.
You see nothing.
Well, at this point, we get introduced to our first kill. Ricky
is maybe the best one of the best ones, I think.
Oh, absolutely. Because, it's not like this movie is littered with murders.
It doesn't,
it's
and it doesn't really, gore. Yeah, there's no gore, really.
Yeah.
But this is a good one.
Yeah, so it shows pedophile Pete in the kitchen, and they have this huge vat that they're boiling water in, and...
like 200 ears of corn they're going to boil at once.
So he's on a chair, and he's, like, trying to prepare this food in this boiling water, and it just, he reacts to, oh, hey, what are you doing here, kid? Kind of a thing. You don't see the kid, blah, blah, blah. The kid starts pulling on the chair and dumps him in there. So here is where your story really begins. Like, oh, there's a killer in this camp. Who is it?
And you think it must be related to this girl. You're not entirely sure yet.
Yeah, because there's all sorts of, like, little key things in those segments before it where, like, you've got the, I like to call him mush mouth or mush face or whatever, the head of the camp who's always sucking on a cigar and like, hey, listen, we need to get rid of all that.
It was an accident. Right?
Whenever the whole situation has happened where the kids are running past out of the walk-in when Ricky and Angela are running out of there, he looks like he knows what this dude does.
Yeah.
Like so you're kind of like, oh wow, it's a crime. It's a mystery. Yeah. It's a crime mystery, or what's the word for that?
Like he's known, but he hasn't been able to prove it.
Yeah.
It's just keeping you're not sure on who it is.
Right.
But you do, over time, you start to see that every person that is murdered is somebody that has picked on the girl, Angela, in some way.
Yes.
Which is a lot of people because everybody picks on her in this movie.
Yep. Which is why, later on, that guy, Mushface, he's after Ricky, like, I know it's you.
Right, he thinks because he's defending his cousin.
Yeah.
You gotta stop defending her.
And he just, like, beats that kid to, like, he's just like,
yeah.
Man, I thought he died.
I do have to say that they used some pretty cool techniques in this, too. I feel like they should have steered away from showing any kind of visual of the killer, because sometimes it'll just be, you'll see, like, it has
a little bit of an
long,
outline.
wet hair, or, something. So you can kind of start to guess along the way. By no means, I think even if you figure out, and we will get to this, but even if you figure out the ending of this movie, you don't quite see it going to the lengths that it does.
Oh, yeah, I thought that's who it was about halfway through, but obviously I didn't know the the twist.
I'll actually be honest. The first time that I watched it, I did. So we don't ever do spoiler alerts. I was about to say like spoilers. We never do that. Every one of our reviews are spoiler ridden. I thought the first time I was watching it, I really was convinced that it was like going to make you think that Ricky had done it, and it was going to somehow make you think that he was innocent, but it was still going to be him. That's what I thought.
See, at first I was leaning to maybe it being him, or then I was thinking like Ghost of Dad.
Oh, that's an interesting
kind of thing. But
Ghost Dad would have been way better.
I mean, Dad would be sweet.
Do you remember that movie with Bill Cosby?
Yeah.
Wasn't that one?
Yes.
He like slipped down the stairs. He like tripped over his kid's roller skate or something and fell down the stairs and died. Right?
Yeah.
Isn't that how that went?
Yeah. Then he went on doing it.
I can't tell if it's a joke or not.
No, this is real. This is real.
movie.
Yeah. This is a real movie. I just haven't seen it since I was a young Rick.
Yeah,
or a young Angela.
He got shredded by an outboard motor.
And
he's pissed off.
It was because of that camp.
Yeah.
So he wanted to haunt.
I mean, I just figured, it's
and
the same lake.
Yeah.
It's the same lake.
Yeah.
Dad's there.
kids
and he's protecting his daughter from these assholes.
Oh, I have to say this. You saying lake kind of reminded me of this. I just recently got through watching this entire franchise, so some of them did get mixed up to me. But I do think that there is a scene that's on a like an archery range.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure that did come from the OG Friday the 13th. There is a scene on an archery range in Friday the 13th with an arrow.
Oh, like a reference kind of.
Yeah. Which this was '83. When did?
I was about to ask that.
Yeah, because I think Friday the 13th actually may have been '84. I could be wrong, but I feel like it may have been '84.
Saying Friday the 13th is a rip-off of Sleepaway Camp.
Yeah.
or vice versa. Yeah, so something. Yeah.
Friday the 13th has more kids.
It does.
It has that's also all it relies
400% more kills.
Yeah.
No, it's not all. It has some great kills in Friday the 13th.
Well, are you talking about throughout the franchise?
First one, no.
Oh, the first one is incredible.
That's all I'm talking about.
Yeah. I personally love, and I'll be completely honest, I love 1 through 3.
Yeah.
3 is...
You don't like Jason Goes to Hell?
No. Okay. Do I like it in a way that we can review it and have fun? Yes. But that is, okay, so when I bought all these movies, Jason Goes to Hell did not come in the pack. And I looked up, because I have the Blu-ray pack of all those, and I looked up Jason Goes to Hell on Blu-ray. And this is a little side note for those of you watching. That is one of the hardest Blu-rays to find. That motherfucking movie...
Because nobody wants it.
Goes for so much money. And I was like...
we don't need to make...
Yeah, I was like, well, I'm not going to spend that much on one that I know what it's going to be. Now, I will say this. It was super hokey fun. I bought it. It came with it was Jason Goes to Hell and Jason X. It was a dual DVD pack. Spent like fucking $6 on it, which is honestly like $5 too much. Jason Goes to Hell was fun, and it finally got to that point of like, all right, this is super hokey. So it was fun in that way.
I just want to point out that Friday the 13th and this one have the same thing of like you misdirection and you don't know who the killer is.
And it was filmed at the same camp.
Yeah. And it was the same camp as Wet
Hot American Summer.
Yeah, that one. Yeah.
And the same one, the same camp, coincidentally, that was used in Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
Yeah.
And Ernest Goes to Camp.
Yeah.
If you look in the background enough, you'll see the fences.
Yeah. Yeah, they were filming some of that at the same time. The little boy, the boy in the striped pajamas.
Oh, that's the movie about a concentration camp.
Yes.
Do you know? I was trying to think of my own Nazi movie to put to insert a concentration camp, and my wheels are turning. And then I was like, oh wait, that is one of those movies. I haven't seen it, but I was like, oh shit.
It's actually a really good movie.
Yeah. I was trying to think of the same thing. I was gonna say like, that Auschwitz movie. Great minds on No More Popcorn. That's all. Only great minds.
Yeah. So I guess you could probably pick up for those of you watching from here. Like this has a lot of typical notes in it, and it's not I would say that the movie itself is not really a story that you have not seen a bazillion times.
Oh yeah.
What
All
makes
the
this
dudes
movie?
are jocks.
Yeah. Everything is so just very typical.
I love summer camp movies.
Oh, I love
Any
them.
summer camp, and I did a lot of summer camps when I was a kid because, well, I mean, they were Christian summer camps.
Yeah.
But I did a lot of them because my dad was a children's minister, and he traveled, and that's what he did. He did a lot of those. So I
You would
almost
go on dates with young girls.
no, I was too much of a fat kid to do that.
Oh,
That's what he was saying. Your dad.
would
Oh,
go
my
on
dad
dates.
would go-
Yeah, like old mush mouth.
Yeah.
Fucking God with those
Meg.
green pants. If you were fucking 70 years old,
Okay,
and
I
you were
will
like, "This is
explain
my
this.
last chance to get."
Explain this
Yes.
to people. This
Okay.
scene. It
All right.
makes no sense.
So the head of the camp, he is approached by
Wait, he looks like his face is about to drip off his skull.
yes.
He is an old, droopy
He's
faced
so
man.
old.
Imagine.
Abe Vigoda.
I can't believe these words are actually going to come out of my mouth, but imagine a not so handsome Walter Matthau. Walter Matthau looks like a basset hound,
Yeah,
okay.
Basset. There you go.
but this guy somehow is worse looking.
So this girl, who's a camp, supposedly one of the counselors, even though she's a bully,
Yeah.
but she is a camp counselor, and she's one of those. She looks more 17, maybe. You know, she's a little bit older, not little kid, but she just like walks up to him.
So when are we gonna have that date?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9:30.
Yeah.
9:30.
So this has already been established. They have had this conversation. Ow! And why? Like,
And she's in the bunkhouse or whatever. And she's
Yeah.
like, I got a date tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, who is?
Oh,
she won't tell, and I don't fucking blame her. Yeah. But it shows, you know, she goes into the shower. This is where she dies,
yeah.
which we were commenting on throughout the movie when the scene came up. I'm sorry, not throughout the movie. We only talked about this one scene.
That's all we wanted to watch it for.
They really used their budget to their benefit when making that kill scene.
Yeah.
The girl's in the shower getting ready for the date, and it shows the killer, or, you know, shadows and shit like that, and
With a knife
picking
in
up
the
a knife
hand.
and everything. Go into the shower room and stabs her through the wall and just drags it down like she, you know.
Well, through the curtain.
Through the
shower
curtain. I'm sorry. Yeah.
And then you see the knife coming down, and then blood coming out,
Yeah.
and then it just cuts to her up against the curtain, like screaming. You know.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah,
kind
and
of
then the hand comes through the curtain, washes off the knife, and washes it. It was a really good choice, I think, to like, hey, how can we make this an effectful kill and get away with it with, I'm assuming probably fairly low budget on this one.
Yeah, I mean, almost no money on special
Yeah.
effects.
Especially with the bees.
Oh yeah,
There's
the
a
bees,
bee
yeah.
kill. There's a bee kill.
Yeah.
And then
I'm sorry.
Oh.
I want to talk about Mushface's pants.
the
This
classy
dude.
pants,
Let's get back to.
the classiest.
So
pants.
you're 70 years old,
Yeah.
roughly. You're in charge of a fucking summer camp for kids.
He's losing money on it.
He's losing money, yeah. And he has the opportunity to have sex with, just so we don't have to dance over awkward things. Let's just say an of-age legal girl, okay? And this is probably the last chance he's going to have.
Maybe.
So what does he decide to wear? Bright green slacks.
Got it. He's peacock.
Go to South Florida right now, and you're going to see.
Desperate
down-
men like that everywhere.
No, that's just how old guys dress. It's like those bright pastel kind of colors,
Yeah.
like the polyester pants and like the kind of what's the word? Those like the little jackets with the gator on them. You know, like,
Izod.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that's how old guys dress. He literally dressed up as an old guy. It wasn't that I was like, yeah, that's how. If an old guy wanted to dress up for a date, that's what he would wear.
I feel like I would have wore some really super short cutoff shorts
Yeah,
and a muscle shirt.
yeah.
That way you can get straight to business.
Yeah. No, anyway, I just thought that was funny. But yeah, so let's talk about Poop Boy and the bees. He couldn't see without his glasses, and there were way too many bees.
Yeah.
Trying
to take a shit.
Yeah, he's just trying to take a shit, and yeah, so he's in a bathroom stall. His buddy, I can't remember what his friends are going to do. They're like, "Hey, we're going to go, down and do something." They're like, "All right, man, I'm going to take a major fucking dump, and I'll meet you guys down there." So he goes into the bathroom, and he's sitting there reading his magazine, which is probably some nudie magazine or something.
That's what you do when you're taking a
Yeah,
shit.
and Killer strikes again. Puts I guess like a broom handle through the stall doors.
Goes back outside.
Yeah, which actually, the first time I was watching too, I was like, okay, the killer's gonna go under the stall, kill the guy or something like that. But no, it's like cuts to him being in the stall and window outside of it, and then it starts getting slashed, and somehow he doesn't notice this. And then a stick with a beehive or a hornet's nest or something gets stuck through. No insects could be detected at all.
Sound effects.
Yeah, just sound.
It's just buzzing.
Yeah.
And
But it does get made up for on the close-ups of the dead body.
Yeah, it shows the body
dude
covered in bees.
dies like from radioactive bees is what it looked like.
Well, yeah, because of the
Some
deterioration
good-
of the
some
arms.
welts.
Yeah.
Some like rotting welts.
Yeah.
I feel like they could have attacked that a little bit better, and maybe he had an allergy. Once again, maybe more my girl. He was allergic to the bees. Veda Sultanfuss is outside, fucking crying. Dan Aykroyd takes over running the camp.
Oh. I'm Canadian, right? Like Ghostbusters for this.
Yeah, right.
You're making it hotter, Nathan.
Well, I got to keep the lighting up, man.
I'm sweating. My legs are
For a
burning.
show, people, we got to get the light back
I guess
up.
it's
They
worth
probably
it.
can't even see us right now.
Did you check and see?
No, I just put logs on.
Okay.
Most people just listen to this.
Yeah, if you
Yeah,
guys
they
can't
just
see
listen.
us,
They don't
then
wanna
they
see our
consider yourselves
faces.
lucky. We're ugly. Which, I guess Angela, she felt a little ugly.
Yeah, did she?
Oh, well, we need to get to the end of this.
Yeah. So, God, how do we attack this?
Angela had a boyfriend.
Right.
Okay,
She
yeah,
had
so
a
we
guy
can
out
talk,
and said to her,
Paul.
they became friends.
Paul, Ricky's buddy, Paul.
They made out from time to time.
And he wanted to feel her up.
Yep.
She wouldn't let him.
Paul fucked up, and he messed around with
Judy.
Yeah.
Super slut.
Super slut of the camp. Yeah, camp super slut. 5 years running. And
Got the badge.
She definitely knew some things.
so Angela gets her heart broken, and this is when you can start telling from the movie where it's going as far as who your killer is, okay? She's really upset by this. She doesn't want to talk to Paul anymore until eventually she's like, "Oh, come on, forgive me one more time." After like 10 annoying scenes of that happening. And eventually she's like, "Okay, meet me at the beach, this time or something." So we get down to the beach, and he's there, and he's like, "Oh, I didn't think you were going to show." And then it just kind of cuts away. During this whole mess of stuff, there's kids that have been killed, the whole camp now. Counselors and everyone, they're all aware. There's a killer on the loose. The police are there. Everyone's trying to catch this killer. The mushmouth, he still thinks Ricky's done it. He beats Ricky to a fucking pulp, leaves him there. You think Ricky's dead. The cops, come and stumble upon him, and they're like, "Oh God, he's alive!" And then cut back to the beach again, and here is our character of Angela, which I will say that I think, with everything, all the laughter that's going to ensue here in just a moment about the actual ending of this movie, I personally do applaud them, because I think that was an effectively creepily shot.
Oh, it looked
ending
creepy.
segment.
It looked creepy as shit.
Yeah,
man.
so they're walking.
Moaning.
Yeah, they're walking up, and you see Angela on the ground, and she's got Paul in her lap.
And you can kind of see that he's naked because
she's
they were going to swim, and she
Yeah,
told
she
him
told
to
him
take
to
off
take his
his
clothes.
clothes.
Yeah. And she does also, if you caught it, she starts to take her shirt off.
Yeah.
So we get that back shot of that, and then this then goes to a cutscene back to the aunt's house. Now, I'm going to stop jabbering and let someone take that scene.
Oh, where you see the boy with the fucking shit around his head.
Bandages.
Like he had hit his
Bandages, yeah.
he had hit his head during the accident.
And the aunt's like, "Oh, what a nice name, Angela." And
Always
then,
wanted a dog.
Yeah,
I always wanted.
We already have another.
Yeah.
We already have another boy. Another boy just wouldn't work. I've
Yeah.
always wanted a daughter.
But did she say the husband had left her?
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did put that
Yeah.
in there. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, my husband left me, but okay, but like,
That'd
let's
be a
go
nice
on.
surprise. Yeah.
Well, that's because remember the cutscene where it was from Angela, from her point of view, where her dad and her dad's friend were having
I
sex.
forgot.
Oh,
yeah.
So he did leave her, but for another man.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot.
Oh.
I forgot that.
Oh.
Her dad and
Her dad's friend.
Oh.
yeah.
Huh. I didn't realize that was the dad.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting.
So all this to
Yeah.
say, Angela is a he.
Yeah.
And you see it in this very shocking, humorous,
Well, yeah.
creepy.
We see them coming up, and then suddenly it flashes. There's like a flash, and you see the boy's head.
Paul's head rolls
He
away.
rolls toward the people coming up on them,
Right.
and then you just see like
This weird face.
Angela like. So her face. How was the scream? What was the scream like? I can't
It
remember.
was like,
now. Like, so you see the girl's face, because it was the actor was clearly a girl for the movie, but you see her face on a boy's body,
you see a
clearly
small
naked.
penis.
You see a penis in the kind of a shadowy penis, and it's just like it's just standing there with that look.
And the cop and the counselor, the
just
counselor
shocked.
goes, "She's a he,"
Yeah.
and then it cuts back again to just that.
Just screaming and standing there.
But such a creepy silhouette,
Yeah.
right?
Creepy.
Yeah.
I mean, dear God, it is extremely unsettling. Yeah, it's a really creepy fucking scene.
Well, it's the way. I mean, she was creepy through the whole movie when people would talk to her and she just stare at him.
Yep.
And it's true. Like if you were to do that, it does upset people. If
Oh, yeah,
somebody's
you definitely
asking
see
you
it.
questions,
They lost their mind.
yeah. Any
Yeah.
people asking questions, demanding answers, you just stand there, and you can do this in real life. It will work.
Do you have a lot of
It
experience with
upsets people. Yeah. I
Try
mean, not
that
to
at
that
work.
degree, but yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
but she did. They would just talk to her, and she'd just stare at them, and people would get upset. And at one point, the girl threw her in the lake. That like it's so she was creepy through that whole movie.
Well-
But that was sort of the penultimate.
Sure.
The ultimate. Yeah.
Well, I feel like if you were gonna dive any deeper into that character, she is clearly only having conversations with people that she feels safe with.
Yeah.
Like she'll talk to Ricky. She doesn't talk to her aunt. She doesn't talk to anyone that she feels threatened by.
She talks to the boy that she starts to
She
like.
talks to Paul. Yeah. She'll talk to the one actual nice counselor, like the HR.
Yeah.
Because the one girl was like Meg, the character of Meg was like, if you have any problems, this is so and so,
The bodybuilder.
and she
dude
could take
seemed
care
nice.
of that. So Angela will talk to them. But yeah, I mean, if you're mean, that's it. She just doesn't. She wants to kill you.
Yeah.
Kill you with silence.
Or a curling iron of your vagina.
We didn't talk about this.
Smother with
hair
the pillow, and then rape with her.
Yeah.
Rape with the curling iron. That was a kill.
Yeah.
It's an odd one.
It was a very odd one, and you sort of have to piece it together.
Yeah.
Because you see the shadow, and you see, puts the pillow over the girl's head.
He had a strong punch too.
Mm-hmm. Knocked her right out.
Sleepaway Camp, man.
Yeah, I was trying to think if there's any other little things here and there to talk about, but I feel like we kind of covered it all.
Once we hit the curling iron rape, I think that was.
Yeah.
I think we had covered the bases. Yeah, I you know, I hate to always give things 4 buckets of popcorn, but I feel like part of the reason I like this more than I would is just because it was, like I said, it was a summer camp movie. Yeah. If it had been in another kind of setting, I don't know if I would have liked it as much. Mm-hmm. But then, and plus the ending brings it up. It brings the score up. Otherwise, I probably would have said 3. If it had just been a typical, it was whoever, the brother. But the way it ends with that bizarre kind of shocking scene, I would give it a 4 buckets of popcorn, I think. That's what I would do it.
Yeah, no, that's a good score. And I do totally understand. One thing I want to say before I forget, and I only remembered because you said the word score, the score for this movie...
That little girl at the beginning.
What a score!
Chicken meat.
Yeah.
No, the score for this movie, that is something that we were laughing at while watching it too. It's like, it was... Yeah, you'd have like, Friday the 13th-esque, kind of music there whenever kill scenes were happening. But, with Angela and Paul's little love affair, it would turn into like Casablanca or something, like, I was transported instantly.
Like an oboe playing.
I didn't even really think ahead of time about what I would give this. I think that this one is one of the more special ones, in my opinion. It's not a bad 80s horror movie. I think it was really well done. I feel like they definitely knew what they were working with and how to execute it. I really honestly didn't have any qualms with the acting. I mean, I feel like you kind of complain about script from time to time just because of like the baseball scene.
Right.
Okay, like
why was that
so long?
It was just so long. Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't even gonna mention the fact that it's just like all dudes parading around. That's whatever. But it was like, all right, we got through the first inning. We have to watch the second. It was a little bit too long in little segments like that. See, I know you said you hate to consistently give things 4. I also hate to copy someone's grade, but I feel like I'm more on the fence, or more lean towards like the 4.5 buckets.
Yeah. Well, let me also add to real quick, seeing it the way we did out here in the forest enhances the experience, especially with the kind of movie it was.
Absolutely,
because that's what we wanted to do. Let's do a movie that would be good for camping. Yeah. Brian says Sleepaway Camp. It's right in the name. So I think that helped a lot too, and it almost makes me want to bump up the score just because of. I will keep it at 4, but I mean, you said it was one of your best, greatest, or the greatest movie watching experiences because of how we set it up. The whole setup. But, sorry.
Yeah, no. I mean, this is actually just a really funny story to explain about when I first watched this. So I'm watching it, and it's just me at the apartment. Rachel hasn't gotten home yet, and she comes in right at the end. All right, so I'm like billowing, laughing, and I'm also like, what? And she just looks at the screen and sees that, and she's like,
"Oh, really?"
She's like, "Awesome! What the fuck are you on?" I'm like, "Oh my god!" I'm like trying to explain to her, and she's
awesome.
like, and basically in a very polite manner, she was just not interested. I guess the reason I say this one is truly hard for me to grade is because even though it's only like about 2.5 minutes worth of footage, it's 2.5 minutes worth of extremely original footage at the end that I feel like has to be taken into consideration when grading the movie.
That fucking wide open mouth stare.
That was the greatest scene I've seen in ever.
Yeah.
Just that ending scene.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys how I used to scare the shit out of my little sister. So, I told you how we were always on the road.
Yeah.
And so we would drive late nights. Sometimes we'd be out there for hours and hours. And all over the East Coast. And it would always be, we'd be in the back seat. I'm sitting behind my mom. And my sister Eileen is sitting behind my dad. And we'd just be in the back seat at just random time. And I would just do this thing where I would just start staring at her, and I would do this like certain kind of smile. I would be like,
show the camera.
I mean, I was like 12, 13.
Yeah.
I'd go. and like, she'd just be sitting there, and she would turn over, look at me, and then freak the fuck out. Mm-hmm. I mean, lose it. It was great. It was so good.
You know what that makes me think of too? Like, just because you can't help but compare, this to Friday the 13th, like we brought up a million times so far. But even in Friday the 13th, they do the whole typical like head lean a few times. That's supposed to be just so.
Are they the ones
freaky.
that we blame for that, for the head lean?
I was going to say you started it maybe, but you didn't lean.
No, it was just a stare and a creepy smile, and you don't move. It's just you just fix it in place.
Yeah. Patrick?
Yeah.
Birthday boy?
Yeah. I'm going to give it 4 buckets of popcorn. Some of it, I felt like it was drawn out to me throughout the movie. But the kill moments were awesome, and then the ending was great. And they killed the pedophile guy, which is A-okay with me.
A-okay. No more popcorn, 100% pro.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I have a thing that I am a stickler about, and you do not have. It does not matter how old you get. You do not have a birthday without being saying,
"Oh, we're doing that.
Happy birthday."
Here.
Yes, we're doing it.
Really doing that.
Oh man.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Let's get on B here. Happy birthday to
Now kick him over
you.
his chin.
Happy birthday, dear Patrick. Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you guys. Thank you.
Right?
Yeah.
Happy
Great.
birthday, bro.
Thank you, man.
Or no more popcorn. Watch a fucking movie and go camping.
Yes. Yeah.